as people who have survived that kind of trauma, who have survived a sexual abuse, you have to live with it every day of your life. And it's about how a survivor has to deal with all these physical and psychological and emotional effects that then trouble your humanity and disconnect you from society and disconnect you from your own self, and the sense that you actually don't feel free inside of your own body anymore.
Having been on the receiving end of sexual abuse, for me it's something that's affected my life very greatly, and I wanted to be able to use art, which is the thing I've always wanted to do. We put out a request to the public asking for people to donate old and used underwear, so ladies, men's, children's. So what we offered to do was have boxes where people could drop off their underwear, so either it was done anonymously by just leaving it in a box, and in some cases people would come to a place where they knew I would be or Nondamisa would be, and they would hand over the underwear personally, and most often when people were doing that, it would come with a personal story, and they would say they had a very strong feeling about this project specifically and about coming to give the underwear and how meaningful it was for them. So the conversation that we were talking about starting in this project already happened at the point that we were starting to collect the underwear, because it created this network of people that started suddenly kind of becoming ambassadors almost for this.
So Maboneng was an important place because it's downtown and it's central, and it's a place where people cross paths in quite a significant way. So here you've got people on different levels of the kind of class stratification system that we have in this country, which still is very, very strong. But Maboneng is also an important place for us to begin the conversation.
If you have a look at airing dirty laundry, which is what you do when you're washing things or when you clean stuff, it's the epitome of what would be considered the dirtiest of laundry, and also the most personal of laundry. And for something like this to have the kind of effect that it needed to have on a very emotional level, I think it needed to really be the most personal item of clothing that somebody would wear, because it's the last thing that's taken from you. And it's also very symbolic and intimate.
So in doing this whole process, there've been a variety of emotions. I'd say the one overriding one is that I've just felt overwhelmed. Overwhelmed by the amount of pain there is in this country, but also overwhelmed by the amount of love there is.
What's of real concern for me is that in any scenario like this, there's always a perpetrator and a victim. There's a raper and a rapee. I think that at the core of the problem is the fact that possibly the people that are doing the perpetrating are the ones that are in need of help most. And that's a difficult thing to hear for someone who possibly has been raped, because they don't necessarily feel like they have any empathy or sympathy for the person who's hurt them. And until we look at that and why that is happening, I don't think that on an emotional level anything will happen with regards to a change in this.
For us, it's very important that people start to address this issue, that people sitting in their homes start to address the fact that their father or their uncle or their brother has done this, and that it has been done to a sister or a mother or a child inside of a family. So it's all of our problem. Whether we are male, whether we are female, whether we are inside of a family or it is a stranger, it's all of our problem. And that's what we have tried to do by connecting all of these stories on the line.